That bigger world is ours by right.
I do get Rick's point here that they're the good guys and the saviors are the bad guys, but to say the land is theirs by right is wrong, and that's a pun intended. It would be theirs by right if the saviors are pronounced Savoirs and they invaded from France.
It's ours by right.
But again, it's not. You're all American, they're just a bunch of dickheads doing dickhead type stuff.
There's only one person who has to die.
Only one person has to die. I hope you all heard that. I'll be keeping that in mind, Rick, over the following episode.
For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. She today, my sister.
Alright, all tiger today, be my tiger. CGI orcas.
I've been shot at. Someone threw a microwave at me.
Placing the throwing of a microwave at yourself after the having been shot at in your little story.
He could have been one of them.
Like a spy?
No, like someone who runs an outpost or is part of an outpost, or hell, even just one of the many people on their own Rick and his crew are about to take out. Idiot!
It's not gonna be enough, Dad.
Enough what?
Hope.
Welcome to Season 8 of The Walking Dead, where Coral Reef is still irritating. Negan is the only person who has to die today, number 1. Negan is the blah 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 to die today, number 2. Negan is the blah blah today, number 3. Morgan treats stabbing a wooden stick into someone's bone like he's poking a cheesecake. Come on, Rick, you haven't got time to be doing stuff like that. And not in public, no less. Have you no shame?
But I'll help you defend this place.
Help me?
Oh yeah. This is your show.
Yeah, because it's best to have a 14-year-old conduct a military defense. P.S. I know he's not 14 in the show. At least, I think he's not that young. But still, you get my point. And lastly, Negan is the only such and such and stuff and thangs today, number 4. That moment when you accidentally leave a camera on and go to lunch.
Sorry. I was in a meeting.
No sharpshooter in the buildings across the way take this opportunity to just shoot Negan. 30 or so seconds of a flash forward which makes no sense whatsoever.
I don't want to just march them into the line of fire because I want to play my dick is bigger than yours.
Not making it part of the plan, even without snipers across the way to literally pop out and spray literally all of the leaders in one go and end it all right there and then.
It is. We both know it.
Could that thing set it off?
You got it.
Because making a clicking sound or a slight whistle makes less sense than barely getting to it in time. You know, for suspense purposes and all. When shooting at glass is far more important than shooting at the leaders of your enemy. Hey, remember when last season they had all their weapons taken away and then they found loads and then those also got taken away and ammo was super sparse? Well, certainly doesn't seem that way anymore when they're unloading thousands of rounds of ammo into a fucking building!
It's not about you, right? Not about you.
No, but it's definitely about killing him. The fact that he, for some unknown reason, feels the need to go and save him.
Wait.
He just lets him take the car knowing full well what he's about to do. Failed to remove the keys before he got out of the car, which was something he could have done at the absolute very least. Also, keep in mind, he's surrounded by seemingly bulletproof sheets of metal, so it's not like he even had to worry about being shot at and could have easily taken the keys.
It was you.
Doesn't just shoot him now whilst Negan is unarmed.
Or I'm about to your pants.
Except for the fact that you do nothing to him at all other than take his weapons off of him.
Do you need us to cover you or something?
I do not. Hey, we're here to help. It shouldn't just be you. I don't die.
Watch for breaches! We keep them locked in, they got bigger problems than us!
Yeah, there isn't anyone here in that command unless their ear is inches away from her mouth over all of that bloody gunfire. For some unknown reason, these guys just stand there and don't fire back.
Just wait.
For what?
He has his hands up, Tara.
The moment Jesus turns into actual Jesus in a fashion and becomes more and more annoying.
About revenge, it's about getting it done.
Jesus going Jesus 2.0 after the guy was happy to kill him, like a douchebag.
What's about to happen? It's not just a few walkers, you know that, right?
Yes. And yet I smile.
Yes, and just for the record, that little statement gets incredibly irritating towards the end of the 8 episodes where it's been said like 15 times.
Where are they? No! Guns!
God knows what Mr. Soon-to-be-dead Season 1 guy was doing whilst all of this was going on. For rather obvious YouTube demonetization reasons, I can't show it, but Morgan kicking some ass and the sheer volume of people he takes out on his own, I personally thought was the best part of all of the 8 episodes I've seen thus far, so removing a sin here. Why is this guy being allowed to keep a hold of a gun?
I know you. You get transferred too.
The weapon in his hands disappears.
We're supposed to.
They surrendered.
Not at the very least killing someone who they know is a bad person. For the rest, Jesus 2.0 could try and make the argument that their sins are somewhat unknown to a large degree. Personally, I'd still vote to take them all out, but the argument could be made. However, Morgan saw this guy in action firsthand, and thus not taking him out there and then is dumb. Especially since he gets even more annoying later on with constant provocation and him still living.
Hi, Rick.
Oh hey, it's that guy. I bet he's gonna have a big part.
Because you're a prize, Rick. We've been told we don't kill you, the widow, or the king.
Information that is really stupid to tell to your captive because they may decide it's better to risk a fight whilst the opponent is more worried about merely wounding them than straight up killing them.
You're always the guy willing to rush in. But why? What is it you're looking for?
He's always the guy to be rushing in? That's a stretch based on what? When he went to go and find Merle that one time from years ago when he knew him for like a few hours combined?
We're gonna settle your Peaches.
Calling a man like Rick Peaches.
But we are taking these men to the hilltop. That's where we're going, and that's what we're doing.
By order of Jesus 2.0, he's never given an order to anyone before now, which makes it very odd that he'd suddenly start acting like someone put his ass in charge of the morality police.
But we don't execute.
Because why should the end of the world be any different to events prior to the end of the world? Oh wait, that's right, the US still executes people, and rightly bloody so, because oftentimes it's the best damn thing.
You good?
That was...
I know who was. Don't matter. Not one little bit.
Yup, and he gets a sin removed here for that.
Why the hell would you wear that? Didn't do shit for him.
These guys managed to run off whilst entirely surrounded by armed people. Hell, even a bullet in one person's leg at the very back would have stopped literally all of them. The fact that they allow him back inside after what he did. And another one removed.
Yet I smile.
Ironically, every time he says this, I personally die a little on the inside. Hey guys from Everything Wrong with The Walking Dead Season 1, how you doing? Why are the walkers all slow and stuff and not running around and using weapons? Because every day I get told it's because they're fresh and thus their brains work a little better. But these guys are fresh now too, aren't they? I'm confused, so let me know your thoughts. Again, for obvious reasons, I can't show what just happened, but Carol actually being a badass again gets the series another sin removed. And yet I smile.
It's how I can walk.
You can keep the cane.
Discount logic.
Does Negan know your name?
I'm Negan.
That moment when you forget and think your gun is a microphone. Instead of just firing from behind cover, Carol comes out into the open. Also, even though these two at the truck had no clue she was there, they were able to start firing within literally a second of her having come around the corner. Just for the record, a foot on someone's forearm doesn't hurt. Like, at all. Unless you're a child and they're the Rock, it's just a solid mass of muscle, and so with our discount logic here's weight on it, this should not be causing any pain whatsoever. Also, in case you were thinking it, we're not showing him having any wound on his arm. Once again, dude, it's a foot on a chest that even has some armor on it. This wouldn't hurt.
Symmetry.
Why give up in this moment? He's a skinny dude with one foot on you and he's swinging wildly at your head with a blade. Move his leg off to the side and punch him or something.
You're not going anywhere with those guns.
We are. They got someplace to be.
Oh no, if only you could, I don't know, lay down and shoot their legs from underneath. Oh yeah. Rick and Daryl Ex Machina. High-powered machine gun firing in basically a very small field of view on a fixed platform and not managing to hit someone coming at them in a straight fucking line. Guy doesn't attempt to ram Rick's car or pull the gun he's got beside him until Rick hops on over and it's already too late. CGI Rick falls onto the road and yet real Rick comes out of the bushes.
Look at what's in front of us. That's what's real. Go!
Dude, just climb up like Carol is and both of you pull him up. It's not rocket science.
Damn it, let me help her. You can't.
Again, can't show it, but a fucking tiger getting killed by some walkers is dumb as hell. Clearly just trying to save some dough on the old CGI budget.
What I ask for, after you have given me so much, is purpose.
A purpose in life, such as, you know, saving and helping Negan, the head of the enemy you and your buds are currently fighting, for example.
Gregory, you don't need to explain yourself over and over again.
Then perhaps you shouldn't bring up the conversation again if you feel that way.
We save people.
That's why you're called the Savior.
Well, aren't you smart? Here, have a biscuit.
I didn't know until I knew. You know.
Gregory, I believe you. Now make Negan believe you.
That's actually what he's in the process of doing.
Tell me we're not backsliding.
We're not backsliding.
Yep, no need for any context here. I'll just go ahead and use my imagination instead of having the story told to me like normal.
Got some sort of hillbilly armor. We just be wasting metal on metal.
Making assumptions about the thickness of said metal. For all they know, it could be incredibly sheet thin.
Why would you stop for that bearded prick?
What I fear is a fruitless death.
So conversely, he considers attempting to save an enemy and dying during the process a fruitful death. The guy's a straight up fucking grade A moron.
There had to be some reason I did what I did.
Also, it's even worse than I thought. He didn't think that would be a good and decent thing to potentially die for. He just thinks that God told him, hey, go save that dickhead, would you?
I'm here to take your confession.
Okay guys, so a lot of you pointed out that it was in fact not a CGI Rick falling out the car in part 1, and you were absolutely correct. So I'm removing that sin now.
I don't have shit to confess. Except maybe the fact that I rubbed one out right where you're sitting just to calm down a bit.
That's unlikely given that he entered the room likely within less than 3 or 4 minutes of him having entered it in the first place. Why he does this is never explained, and it's made even worse by the fact that he literally just said that they have to sit and wait for a while to see if his people can figure out a way to get rid of the herd.
We have to assume Negan's dead.
But just to clarify, are you saying you're someone else, Regina?
No, I think you get her point, dude. You're all Negan, but Negan is likely dead.
You can't leave the Saviors out of here, I will.
30 or so seconds of seemingly absolutely pointless aggression.
I'd like you to accept these as a sign of my faith that we will in fact find a way out of this pickle. Pun intended.
Think about it. There ain't no kingdom no more.
He takes this as a fact based purely on what a dying enemy said.
Nah, you ain't doing this.
Unnecessary push after having thought it through for a short while.
Or I can just kill you.
Because killing him would be extremely easy when he's holding a loaded firearm. Actually getting to hear about some of Negan's past I personally thought was a nice and much needed touch to his character, so I'll remove a sin here.
Regina. Now why'd you have to go and do that?
Mainly to avoid being shot herself. Because when you're working with rusty and or sharp pieces of wiry metal, it's important to wear as little clothing as possible. You gotta wonder where the hell their source of water is keeping them all alive in the middle of a fucking junkyard that also allows for them to keep their hair all clean like this too.
Jesus.
Hi.
They're giving away our food.
We had a bumper crop of turnips in the root cellar.
Which is not the point. You keep going on about how she's in charge and then you go and grab a bunch of their food to give to murderers.
Are you seriously thinking about doing what Gregory said?
Every option's on the table. They have to be.
What are we fighting for, Maggie?
For a world without a bunch of murderers in it?
I'll go with you. I'll fight.
No.
They'll go running scared when they see you, kid.
Still. Alone you.
Oh my god, I so legitimately hate the way they speak. Alone you. Does this seemingly save more time than just saying you're alone?
Or we destroy you.
Threats and dreams.
Well, it's hardly a dream when he has physical proof of the Saviour's demise. However, yes, it is a threat well done.
You're still healing.
You were shot. I was just beat up. You've been shot worse than this, Drive.
Irony or hypocrisy? Take your pick. when you're so desperate for water that you actually go and waste a lot of it. Bless his heart, this guy is trying so damn hard not to move whilst he's seemingly dead, but since they decided to keep the camera on this dude for so long, he's clearly struggling with the whole physical aspect of playing dead.
I don't know. But you gotta honor your parents, right?
Dude, keep fucking still! This kid is a fucking moron.
2 at a time.
2 at a time, even though you're all tied together by rope and thus move at the speed and momentum of the person directly in front of you.
You're gonna get these people killed.
I won't stand for anything less than total cooperation, up to and including attempting to take a weapon from one of my guards and then make a direct threat against the people of the community. This is so fucking dumb that you say this, and then 2 minutes later he pulls this crap and yet you still don't make an example of him. Forest Ninja Walker cliche.
Sometimes kids have to find their own way to show their parents the way.
Shut the fuck up. Could she not have just taken a few shots at them from slightly above the box? This is such a dumbass intimidation technique because it makes it incredibly obvious where you are when you're actively trying to catch and take someone out before they take you out.
You're not gonna use that thing.
That moment when a rocket launcher blast causes you to literally disappear into thin air. Obviously they added a lot of blood to the floor, but typically when someone is hit by an explosive, they don't just dissipate into blood. Daryl Ex Machina.
Where are you going?
Make sure we win.
Let me come with you.
You literally don't even know where he's going. A whole bunch of makes no sense, which also includes randomly taking the same 2 pictures of him from the front for some unknown reason.
Eugene, I was going for a handshake.
In that case, turn your hands sideways, dude.
It is for me. It just is.
Well, no one can say you haven't got a solid argument. It is for me, it just is.
Drawn active deceased along with it away from all exits, allowing immediate free passage, permanent redirection if successful.
And what exactly is the point in dictating this?
Seeing 20 for 20, I'm feeling 10 for 10. I'm receiving 5 by 5. Just staying safe means staying alive. And I'm A-okay with doing whatever it takes to lock that down.
1 minute and 25 long-ass seconds of this.
If you care, you do something. You don't just hope. It takes more than that.
Then by that logic, Coral Reef, you should have gone and offered the saviors all of your stuff willingly. Be a good person and all that bollocks. What he fails to understand is that you can't trust every single stranger you come across.
From the window! We hit it! Stop!
Well, it was well worth them being brought back into the story. Carol Ex Machina.
You think we're gonna be out there picking strawberries with Negan?
That's what it takes. It's more than just hope.
One thing that annoyed me here is how his little Jesus complex seemingly come out of nowhere. In the last season he stupidly gets on a truck to go take out Negan, and then unsurprisingly fucks that up. The season ends and now suddenly he has a heart and wants everyone to live happily together. It makes no sense. If you want to use it as a character building tool, at the very least make something happen to trigger this new way of thinking. Irritating slow motion shots of everyone.
Will we give up that quick?
No, we wouldn't.
Damn straight.
Well, at least you managed to get one line. Instead of having their guns at the ready and just mowing them down, exiting their vehicles to use as cover, or doing literally anything, they just sit there.
This is my show. You said it. This is my plan, and you're gonna do it.
Yeah, but she didn't mean it though, because you're like 12 years old and stuff. Somehow she survives despite being without any cover at all from all of the bullets.
That's why you don't want to block the gate with the trucks. That's why you drove right up to this!
Also, she sees this as the perfect time to have a quick chat with him instead of killing the person she now knows is the traitor. A punch from this woman knocks a man to the floor.
Savior's killed one of our own tonight on the road. We aren't even, but that was a start.
Maggie.
Jesus, shut the f*** up.
I can't go back. One of them got away. She's gonna tell them.
And how did she get away considering they were firing bullets into the vehicles and she had to literally go back behind one of those vehicles into the line of fire? I'm sorry fans of The Walking Dead, but this little moment earns the season 10 whole sins for how absolutely dumb it is that Rick has the upper hand and yet decides to merely hit Negan once with the f***ing handle! Rick now literally is holding a gun and yet doesn't just turn around and kill Negan once and for all from the safety of the outside of the house. More annoying slow-mo action.
That's how it happened.
You know what? I'm sorry. I cannot take another season with Carl. I've had enough. Okay, it's got to be done. Oh, I hate to do it. I hate to use it. I really do. But, okay. Right. Carl Grimes gets bitten by a walker. Okay, well, yeah. You're welcome. Woohoo!
And do the Harlem Shake. Everything okay?
Just came for some of that Barnett skillet cake you guys make.
You rode out from the kingdom for dessert.
Do you really have to question that, Rick? Grave's not gonna dig itself, Michonne. It's almost as though the season director paid for this particular song and said, damn it, I'm gonna use the whole thing and get my money's worth. To the preacher who is waste of food if you ask me. So, any particular reason you're not doing your job and taking out the guys in the window?
They're trying to make a path. Blocking out the walkers with bodies. They're gonna get out.
So what the hell is the point in snipers being there if all they're doing is watching them? I'm sorry, this just deserves one more sin for being so nonsensical, it's absolutely beyond me.
You versus all of them? Yeah. They don't stand a chance.
No, they really do.
It's not just Carol. I'm going too.
Oh, shut the f*** up, Billy, you're like 9 years old.
I said he's going to kill you, and there's nothing I can do to stop that.
Hey. You hear me?
Jesus, dude, what the f*** do you want from him? Okay, one doth, get it? When you're startled and accidentally make the sound of a walker. Head-stepping sound effects brought to you by www.cheesecakepoking-soundeffects.com.
Come on, boys. Get the damn gum off your shoes. Let's go.
And girl, you racist, transphobic, ageist pig. Can't show it on YouTube since it's rather graphic, but this dude's response to having a spontaneous appendectomy is to merely sit there screaming and not attacking back in any way, shape or form. Well done, lads. Brilliant.
Only a sick man do it like this.
As opposed to beating someone's skull in with a baseball bat, which is incredibly refined.
You just killed all those men because of the kid?
Well, that, and they were shooting at him. I mean, it's not like they were all unarmed or anything.
Relent. Ending him is the coward's way.
This kind of shit always really annoys me. He's an enemy. He may not be armed, but there's nothing stopping him from one day picking up a gun and coming after them again, be it in a day or a month. One would assume that if this wooden structure has been burning all night through till morning, that you'd see a little more damage done to it than this.
What do you think you meant? Do you want us to stop fighting? The Saviors just surrender to Negan?
No, because then you'd just die, and he obviously wouldn't have wanted that. Coral Reef was on about when this is all over, not just killing every single one of them, so that you can create some peace afterwards.
The hell is that?
Would that not be the kind of thing you first ask if he even wants to deal with himself, instead of knocking on the door and then dumping a coffin onto the table?
And as friends, you will grant us this neighborly gesture as a sign of good faith.
Danger's everywhere. Need guns too.
We need guns too. God damn, I forgot just how bloody annoying these bunch of Yoda twats are.
You learned before or after?
Don't learn. This... come to know.
Great, these have now taken the stupid talking to the extreme that I legit don't even know what she was even trying to say. Was it that she didn't learn how to create art? She just knows it?
Why the dump? And there had to be a better place to call home.
Ours.
Is not an answer to the question he asked.
I used to come here to find things to paint on. Metal sheets.
Removing a sim because I'm genuinely happy that she's talking normally.
I didn't want her dead. I just wanted her gone.
Feels like what Carl was talking about.
Although you can't really forget that she's the one that sold them out the first time, endangering all of their lives and shooting Rick in his leg. Not to mention that after that, they also captured Rick and were going to put him to death until he fought his way free and took a hostage. Just how much shit are you supposed to let people get away with and still try playing the forgiving card?
You see, I stop people from dying. I am the answer.
Irony.
Best to stay off the road. Head in the woods right there.
Starting off only using hand gestures to maintain quiet, but then just talking anyway. Thank God Daryl is there to keep gesturing which direction they should go in, otherwise they may just wander all over the place. Forest Ninja Walker!
Tara! What, it got away? He can handle it.
Or you know, one of you could come and help?
Same as us.
Hopefully better than us.
Wasting the bullet when Daryl can use an arrow and then retrieve it afterwards.
Well, maybe we should let him drive for a little while.
I mean, we should let him inside. And leaving all those footprints along the side of the road. Maybe just by saying it over and over again, this person had reason to believe it. Maybe it gave them the strength to go on.
Okay, but what the hell has any of that got to do with your current situation?
These are both antibiotics.
Antibiotics ex machina?
My people come first. I don't have a choice.
I think you do.
Well, the choice is that everyone badly starves instead of the enemy who were previously trying to kill them taking the brunt of said starvation. Not much of a choice, is it?
It's car keys and a map.
Oh, please.
Why didn't you try and stop me?
No one could have stopped me.
Well, yeah, they could have.
How can we win?
Look around, Gregory. How can we lose?
Lack of food, lack of guns, lack of personnel, lack of ammo. Need I go on?
Listen, ride with me. We make sure you're up to speed on the plan. It's what Negan wants, so I don't know why we're still jawing.
Could have just started off the conversation with that then in that case.
You look beautiful, baby.
It's a weird thing to say when you're on your own.
Rick didn't agree with me then. He may not understand me now.
He won't. but eventually he will.
Unless, of course, it is a trap and then you get yourself killed out there. This seems like a silly waste of ammo. Prediction: Rick runs out of ammo by shooting like a royal numpty and then ends up fighting Negan one-on-one melee style. If so, I'll add another sin for being so goddamn incredibly obvious. Jesus f***, not only was I proven right, but even worse so, Rick chucks his gun away after changing the clip and only firing off a few rounds to go melee style. He literally shouted the name of his baseball bat.
You asshole.
Prediction: Rick will stand around too long and either Negan will allow himself to drop and survive, or his people will arrive and he'll survive.
And the worst has been outpacing the best lately, but that won't last forever. It won't.
Yeah, alright, we heard her.
I know, trust probably sounds like a made-up word now, like flibbersticky, or clump, or moisture.
What? You still alive? I'm a goddamn cat.
Yes, and there he is, and there's my next prediction sin proven correct. I hate being right all the time. Ooh, as opposed to, say, getting your axe out and attacking him with that instead.
Gone.
You couldn't find him?
No, they could. In fact, he stood right next to them, genius.
You know what it is.
Carol, you know I can help.
Oh, shut the fuck up. You're like 4 years old.
So you have never performed surgery?
3 times?
Amputations?
No, but I can figure it
Even
out.
strong enough to hold someone down who hasn't been anesthetized?
Are you?
I can figure it out.
Can you shoot a gun? More importantly, can you shoot a gun while you're holding someone down?
Okay, when the hell has this weird-ass scenario ever presented itself to you? And furthermore, what's the sense in being a royal cunt to the one actual doctor in the whole place and criticising him for not having been further through his training when the world ended?
Because it sounds to me like you don't know enough of anything. And in my experience, people who don't know enough are more dangerous than people who don't know shit.
Do you know about the risk of diabetes creeping up on your fat ass? Also, what are you basing the whole you don't know enough on, considering every time he answers, your dumbass interrupts him?
Where the hell is he?
Look out! Fall back! Front line! Give him cover!
Yeah, they're not hearing a word of that over the firing of all those weapons. Intimidation tactics which are incredibly stupid when you take into account that they just spent the last 5 or so minutes in open combat with you and clearly didn't retreat through any kind of fear. Also, it's incredibly stupid because once again it nicely gives away your position to the enemy.
Some of us are lucky enough to just live. Some of us are lucky enough to just fight.
Even after it ends?
I don't think it ends.
What we're doing, the end of the fight, is what we're fighting for.
True, but her point is that in all likelihood the chances of them running into another aggressive group in the future is very high, and thus the fighting never really ends for good.
I wouldn't have died if I went out there.
You would have, Henry.
He says in his irritating little voice based on no knowledge whatsoever. I'm getting a real Coral 2.0 vibe from this kid.
Gregory was in charge. This place wouldn't be here anymore. He was about himself. What he wanted. That's not you.
Jesus, will you all remove your tongues, please? This is getting old. Oh my god, Maggie, best leader for Evs and stuff.
Just hold tight.
This extra has horrific peripheral vision if he was unable to see a large 6-foot-tall bloke making his way towards him from behind. Not to mention that he also failed to hear him in the dead of night. Also, Mr. Slap'n'Bappin, I can't remember his name, sat up on the bed by the time this guy made it to the door and yet still managed to grab him before he left. Community Ninja Walker! I wake up if my dog sneezes in the middle of the night. Meanwhile, every single one of these people remains sound asleep whilst a fully grown dude falls down the stairs right by their heads. Because in order to shoot a gun at someone, you need to be 1 meter away as opposed to 2.
Where are the others?
They didn't say where they were going, they just ran.
And you didn't?
Yes, he's currently back at Negan HQ. Cool that she's found razors to keep shaving her legs all of this time.
Daryl, it just means that Dwight shot me with a clean arrow.
Well, it means you got lucky. It could be anything.
Yeah, clean arrow, or 1 in infinity chance that the arrow had blood on it, but you're the only person who's unaffected by the virus. Both equally viable options.
It's not like a bite. Sometimes nothing happens.
Daryl.
Look.
Based on what, Daryl? Based on what? When has that happened? Exactly, go get a haircut.
I can't.
Wait.
I can't.
You have to. I did it too.
Why the hell is she forcing this on him so much? He's been dead naff all time and she's all about pressuring him into reading a bloody letter from his dead son. How about letting him decide when it's time?
You're not dead.
I know. Not me. I don't die.
There's no dive bar 3 miles off Edge Hill Parkway. It's between here and there, but the chances that actually... Hey!
Not to mention the fact that he's given Rick absolutely bare bones information to go on and he's just setting off to find the place. Yeah, f it, I'll find it based on that riddle wrapped to the puzzle.
They're all I have left. They're all this place has left. You took my world, everything. You took away me.
Thank God he did as well, otherwise I'd be forced to be wiping blood off of my shoulders every time I had to hear you do your irritating as hell Yoda speak. Can't show it on YouTube, but he does just about the worst firing of a gun at close range that I've ever seen in the history of people firing guns at close range.
Morgan, hey, you know me.
It's been like 10 minutes since Morgan left Carol after their little chat, and already he's gone proper old school feral like he was in the past. I mean, hell, give it a day or two at least before he fully regresses.
You have to give them a way out. You have to find peace with Negan. Find a way forward somehow.
This naive is annoying. It's all well and good to say, find a way to find peace with Negan, but in doing so that opens Rick and crew up to untold dangers down the road. Vendettas, ambushes, and so on and so forth would likely be commonplace. Very nice in theory, but in reality, highly unlikely.
Start everything over. Show everyone that they can be safe again without killing. That it can feel safe again. That it can go back to being birthdays and...
So in closing, Dad, take over the entire United States in order to ensure there are no more bad guys anywhere, and that'd be great. Love, Coral Reef. P.S. This show has sucked since season 5.
Well, I am the juice.
World's hardest handshake gone wrong.
If he was of the blood variety, you would have already been dead. But the fact remains you're packing pathogens that can sting with the sneeze, making it imperative that you maintain your PPE at all times.
And thus you walking into his direct airspace where said coffees have taken place without a mask makes you king of the retards.
Well, they've shown me that I'm still the same person who locked my parishioners out so long ago.
And still the same boring bastard whose backstory I never particularly gave a damn about.
I tried to rise above my biological imperative, but that is not who I am.
I know who you are. You're the reason they were able to escape the sanctuary.
She's right, but that is a massive assumption given that all they did was basically use firepower in order to escape. That moment when you swing your gun over the walker's head, but it's decent enough to at least pretend your attack connected and falls to the floor like a real bro. He had time to cover himself like this when she was literally meters behind him at the wall divide. When you're so thirsty, you waste a bunch of collected water. Bat? No bat.
No more talk.
Seems like a waste to destroy your own radio.
He died paying respects to a woman he never knew.
And that's what made him a massive douchebag.
Boylan Road. Map will show you where I'll be if there's trouble.
Nah, we got this one locked down, Hefe.
Damn straight you do.
Oh wow, they even have SJWs in the crew.
You ever see one that big?
Office is full of genitalia.
Oh, eso es lo que dice él.
That's what he says?
Damn it.
How much farther? We grow closer. Yonder. Over the ridge.
That is not an answer to his question. Okay, so I can't show it on here, but kudos to them for the whole Eugene twist they pulled. I genuinely didn't see that coming a mile off. I did slightly expect it, but purely because I saw literally no other way for them to get out of the mess they were in. Removing a sin. Firing once he's already behind the tree and thus wasting ammunition while Negan doesn't have a gun.
And then we're gonna show him.
Yeah. We will.
So, was Daryl just standing in the shadows for effect, or...? Nathan Burr, Bird Without a Word, Arias Alibari, Hayden White, PK Fan, Ali 50, Ryan Anderson, Isael Caldera, Chris Harris, Jonas Stahl, Manolo Saucedo Munoz, Luis Hernandez, Kim Munt, Jason Davies, Yuki Ali, Manuel Morales, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Sentimento, Java 6263, Amy San, Alfredo Jimenez, Silva, Master Tank, Boogie, Kevin Nelta, Stefio, Brendan Kriya, Storm 970, Mr. Waffle 64, Fongola Ninja, Kaj Vorzelman, Jordan Samuels, Sean Graves, The Epic Amanda, Crimson Shadows, Kyle Farmer, Buzzbomb 3000, Adora Blue, Yagai 7636, Mr. Berigino,